Ever wonder why some team members leave organizations over and over, bouncing from one job to another? Well, in this video, I'd like to share with you three specific areas that I think are really going to increase your employee retention, as well as both team and organizational performance. Hi, this is Craig with LeadershipMentor.com. I help new leaders and soon-to-be leaders gain the skills and knowledge to help you thrive in a leadership role. So let's take a look at these three different areas. So I think team members need these three things to thrive in their role. The first one is clarity. They need a sense of clarity in what they're doing. They also need a sense of contribution. And the last one is a sense of growth in their position. So let's take a look at each of these individually. So with clarity, I like to look at these with these statements. And these statements are really a great way to start a conversation about, is there clarity in what I'm doing? I want to encourage you to consider even doing surveys with these. You can do anonymous surveys with your team with all three of these areas. It's a really powerful way to get a sense periodically about how your team feels about, do I understand really what I'm supposed to be doing? Do I feel like I'm growing in my position? When we look at these things, I understand what is expected of me and how my performance is measured. And so what we can do is we can actually phrase that in a question to a team member, for example, maybe in a one-on-one coaching session. And we can just simply phrase that statement and ask them, how do they feel about that? What part of that are you not comfortable with? Or what part of that do you feel most comfortable with? And start a dialogue around how they feel about each of these different areas. The first area that I think helps us to support clarity is certainly proper training. So when you look at training, new hire training is typically pretty good within organizations. So we sit them down in a controlled environment and we go through, here's the tools and here's how you use them, the different apps, maybe call scripting if you're in a customer support area. We may go out and have them sit with existing team members so they can experience in real life what it is that they're doing and ask questions. I think the opportunity that's missed is what I would consider like a recalibration. And so after about 30 days, oftentimes what happens is once these team members get out on the floor, they start to create some bad habits. So if we take the opportunity to bring people back in about 30 days later, that's a great opportunity for us to go back through a summary of the training and encourage very open dialogue with these new hires that have been here for 30 days to express maybe some concerns or questions about, well, that's not actually what is happening on the floor. One, it may help you to improve your training to better align with what really works out there in the real world. And then two, it also will identify those areas where there's some bad habits out there with the team member as a whole. Regular feedback, you're going to see this really a common theme in this presentation. Honest, regular feedback is so important to understand. If I'm a new hire and I go through training, I get out on the floor, if I don't have that regular feedback and honest feedback, not just positive feedback, we want to be able to provide them with some positives that they're doing and then recalibrate what it is they need to change. And it's so important that that happens. And then the last area for clarity is going to be effective measurements. And I think this is really important as time goes on, that team members have a way of seeing in a tangible way how they are performing and then how the team is performing. So these three things, proper training, effective honest feedback, and effective measurement, so crucial. If I understand what's expected of me and how my performance is measured, that's going to give me a sense of confidence that I'm doing what I need to be doing on a regular basis, because you're providing me with the training, the feedback, and then the measurement that's going to help me to do all three of these things. So our next area is contribution. What we want to do is we want to be able to provide our team members and the team as a whole the opportunity to see in a tangible way how they contribute. And I think you're going to see that actually all three of these areas really overlap in a lot of ways. But in this sense, contribution, we need to feel, even as supervisors and leaders of organizations, we need to have a regular sense that what we're doing is contributing to the success of the team. This is really the statement is, I understand how my actions and performance contribute to the success of the team and organization. This is really an important one. And what we want to do is make sure that our team members understand that it does matter what you do on a day-to-day basis. And the things that you do, this is how it moves the needle in either a positive or negative way with our team performance and the organization. So that might be profitability, that might be customer retention, whatever that measurement is. And the first thing is real-time feedback. So with all of these elements, feedback is really a crucial part of how we can provide that. In contribution, when we want to give somebody a sense of contribution of what they're doing, we want to provide them with, hey, great job, this is what I observed you doing, and that has a really big impact on that customer coming back to us next time they're ready to buy. So that's an example of providing feedback and connecting contribution to how the organization and the team is successful. Sharing of metrics and reporting, but so important that I can see and measure and kind of connect the dots on what I'm doing with what's being reported on, what's important within the organization. The final area is growth. And with growth, the statement that I would share is, I'm aware of short and long-term opportunities, both within the team and the organization. And I would probably add to this, not just opportunities, there's clarity in terms of where I was last month and where I am currently, and that I can see that I have performed better this month than I did last month. One is to discuss career goals with individuals. And I think that's really important that we utilize our regular coaching sessions, our one-on-one sessions with our team members, where we give them the opportunity to share with us where do you see yourself in the next 6 months. Growth looks very different to each person on your team. So when we're talking about growth, the thing is, you can put elements in place as a whole and things that you do on a regular basis for the team. And that's a really good start and very important, but we have to get down to the individual if we really want to drive this sense of growth, because we need to know what they specifically see as opportunities, things that they're doing that they may not necessarily enjoy, or things that they're doing that they want to do better, that they feel like they're not currently performing very well. We also want to use delegation as a development tool. We want to delegate not just to get things done, and that is delegation, is we want to get more done through other people, but we want to look at that as a development tool. When I start to delegate tasks, it's not about me getting rid of the task, it's actually about me helping to develop a team member, and along with that, we want to build their confidence by using authority levels. And authority levels, again, part of our Delegation 101 course, but authority levels just means that when you delegate a task, you don't just give somebody a task, walk away, and assume that it's done. We have to evaluate where is the team member in their skill level. And we have different levels of authority where sometimes if it's a very experienced team member and they've done that task many times before, that looks very different than when we delegate to a new team member who's never done a more complicated task. But when it comes to growth, we want to make sure that they're aware of opportunities, and also we want to make sure that they're aware of this is where I was and this is where I am. And this is where your coaching sessions really need to be focused on. So these are the 3 things that team members need to thrive in their role. So again, it's clarity, contribution, and growth. And I hope you find that these things are fairly simple. So I want to encourage you to go to our website and take a look at our new community, join, bring some friends along with you. So I hope you found this video helpful and I hope you have a great day.